Warriors, and welcome to the 2018 Warriors United Kickoff Webinar. Well, if you're like me, you're still processing all the energy from our January meeting and holiday party that was held this past weekend in Newport. If you weren't able to make it, we missed you, but I'm glad that you're choosing to plug in and learn how to make your business stronger through the Warriors United program. This is a big year, one that holds many rewards for you. In case you haven't heard, the $10,000 treasure box did not open in Newport for the first time ever in 10 years. And through my disappointment came incredible amounts of support and love from many of you. There is now $20,000 on the table. That kind of money can make an incredible difference in someone's life. And some of you told me that if you open that box, you're going to pay off all your student loan debt. Others have said that they will walk into a car lot with a stack of cash and buy a brand new car in cash. And I know a few of you said that you would buy your first home. You have the opportunity to earn and win keys to that treasure box through this program, along with a trip to Mexico. This is big, and I'm glad you're here. I reached out to Grace over the weekend on Sunday, and I let her know about the treasure box not opening. And, I was still in a space of disappointment, and she agreed that this is nothing but a blessing for Athena's, and she was so excited to know that she will be part of your journey to earn keys in 2018. She sent me this first webinar this morning at 5 a.m., and I listened to it intently, and I'm going to ask you to do the same. If you're scrolling through Facebook and posting photos on Instagram while listening to this webinar, you might as well not even bother, because multitasking and learning do not go hand in hand. Close down your social media, put your cell phone in another room, and allow yourself the time to focus. Grace, our guest speaker, was raised by one of the most authoritative voices in direct sales, Keohohou, who was our guest speaker last year at this time and was also our Golden Circle speaker in September. Grace has direct sales running through her blood. For her entire adult life, she has gained insight and wisdom on this great profession that we all share, and she wants to give you her best. So I care so much about your success that I hire professionals who can give you this advice and insight and ideas that will make you less stressed and more profitable. So please take this time to honor yourself and my investment in you and your business for the next 40 minutes. Your first code word is best, and here she is, Grace.
This is Grace Howe with the DSWA, and I am very excited to be here with all of you for our first webinar in a series of 6 webinars that we get to deliver to you on a consistent basis over the next few months. Our first of this series is the Vibrating Visionary, and Jennifer and I wanted to set the tone for our work together, and one way to do that is really to be clear on what your vision is for your business and where you want to take your business over the next year. And so we're going to talk a bit today about the Vibrating Visionary and what it means to cast a vision that is beyond your current circumstances, to stretch yourself or enlarge your comfort zone, to cast a vision and communicate that with others so that people will have a desire desire to participate and to step into your vision and contribute to what you're working towards while they're contributing to what they're working towards. So I'm excited to share with you these insights. I encourage you to take out a pen and paper so that you can take notes as we're going through this process and be able to reflect upon what you're learning here so that you can actually implement it. So first things first, vibrating visionary. Let's talk a bit about that. A vision without a plan is a dream. So a vision these are the milestones or the incremental goals that you're setting for yourself, something that you're working towards. Or it could be a distant vision, possibly something towards the end of next year, or Athena's annual year. Maybe it's that you have a desire to be the person that unlocks the treasure chest filled with $20,000 for this upcoming year. I mean, wow, it could be this and something more, this and something better, this and something beyond. So really getting an idea of your vision, and then the plan is the how-to. So how will you accomplish that? What will be a daily method of operation? How do you plan to implement the ideas that you come up with to make your vision a reality? And that's something that, even for myself, on a consistent basis, I have a daily plan of action. These are the things that I am committed to accomplishing. And I filter my decisions based on this plan and my vision. So I'll give you a few questions that you can even ask yourself. Once you have your vision clear, is to ask yourself, how is this moving me? How is this decision moving me closer to or further away from my vision? How is this decision? So it could be that a decision to not do anything, a decision to have a conversation with someone about the business or the products. Asking yourself these questions gives you an opportunity to assess and evaluate versus, okay, I'm just going to live my life by default. Or you can choose to live your life by design, by giving yourself an opportunity to reflect on a consistent basis, reflect on your actions or inactions, reflect on your vision, and how you are implementing your plan in order to realize your vision. And I found that many people, when they have a plan, they tend to experience the fruits of their vision faster. So let's take it one step at a time. So first things first is to establish the goal. Establish the goal that you're working towards. So maybe it is something for this month of January. You have a goal that you'd like to achieve this month. That is something to aim towards. It's a target for you. I like to ask people, all right, please share with me a goal that you have for your business. And they'll share whatever that may be. And so I'll ask them, when it comes to that goal, what is your time frame for achieving it? The reason I'm asking that question is because then I can get a gauge of whether that is a sprint experience, meaning that they're going to sprint towards that goal. That's something that's happening this month. Or it's more of a marathon goal, meaning that it's something that they're working towards over time. So having a time frame established to that goal or what you're working towards really makes a difference. So first is to establish your goal. What are you working towards? What is exciting and igniting you? What is fueling your passion? And to establish that. Then an additional key to that, to the success of achieving it, is to keep that as a target in front of you. So what does that mean to keep that as a target in front of me? Well, there's a few different ways of looking at it. For those of you who are visual, some of you would prefer to see it, which ties in beautifully for the upcoming Vision Board seminar that's taking place with Athena's on the 24th of January. Vision boards are valuable. Approximately 60% of the world's population is visual. So having a vision board is something that when you look at it, you see it, and you love it. You're looking at it, and it gets you fired up, and it gets you excited to call people, to talk about your business, to share your products, to book people in, and to learn more about the Athena's difference. So seeing it is for that visual person. So it could be that you want to see your vision board. It could be that you write your goal down and you place it in various places where you are going to see it often. I had one woman, she had it as her screensaver so she could see it at all times. I had another woman, she said she took sticky notes and wrote the words of her goal out all over the house. I mean, they were everywhere, on the mirror, on the wall, on the door, everywhere that she knew that she would see it on a consistent basis. And she liked to keep it lively, so she would move her Post-it notes all over, so that it would be almost a way for her to look at it and be re-inspired on a consistent basis to work towards it. So seeing it, like I said, approximately 60% of the world's population is visual. So that may be you. You want to picture it. You want to visualize it. It may be words. It may be a picture. It's something that you can actually see. Another way to keep it in front of you is for those of you who prefer to hear it, which approximately 35% of the world's population is auditory. So these are the people that want to hear their goals. I had one woman, she's auditory, and she shared with me, she said, Grace, I am going to record my voice and make that my daily alarm. And so what she would do is she recorded her voice, communicating her goals to herself, and made that her alarm. So she would wake up to this message about what she was working towards. And so she would greet herself in the morning, good morning. And then she would say the title that she was working towards, which was her goal. It was a specific title in her business. And then she would say a few words that would inspire her, and that was how she preferred to hear it. And actually, there at an unconscious level, at a conscious level, our voices, it's almost like we don't really care for them. We don't care for our own voice consciously. It's like, for me, it's like, I don't know, it just sounds different. And then for some people, they're like, oh, I don't want to hear my own voice. Unconsciously, we love our own voice. It actually speaks to our core, and it serves us well. So that's another thought, is and how to keep your vision, your goal, the picture that you have for you in your life in front of you, to be able to hear it. And so those are a few ideas. I'd be curious what you all come up with to keep hearing your vision. Another woman, she shared with me, she imagined what she would want someone to say to her when her vision was realized. So she imagined a person and what they would say to her when she accomplished her vision, and how important that was. Usually when you choose someone specifically that you want to hear affirm you, congratulate you, communicate that they're proud of you, there's someone that carries a lot of weight in your mind and in your heart. And so that also can be an inspiring factor. So being able to hear it and imagining what you would want them to say and how you would want them to say it, and repeating it in your mind so that you can, even though you're saying it to self, you're hearing it over and over and over again. I've spoken to a multitude of people that have said that their goals have been realized, like goals that they've worked towards for years, when they figured out what they were, whether it was visual, auditory, which is, being able to hear it, or they were kinesthetic, they wanted to feel it. When they figured out which they were, and they kept their vision and their why and their purpose in front of them in the methodology that is their learning tendency, they accomplished it within months. And so I have a desire for you all to experience something beyond that even. So the third thought in keeping your vision in front of you is to be able to feel it. And so that's for those people that are more kinesthetic, meaning that, I'll give you an example. One woman, she said, every time I step forward, I'm feeling like I'm making progress. Every step forward is a step towards my vision, towards my goal. And so for her, feeling her vision or feeling her purpose was to have movement, to actually physically stand up and walk towards her vision, towards her goal, towards her purpose. So feeling it is taking that kinesthetic approach. And approximately 5% of the world's population is kinesthetic. So what's interesting about all three of these is that some of us are more than one. There is no right or wrong. It is our natural learning tendency. And when we can recognize that in ourselves and then keep our target in front of us based on how we learn and how we process information best, it's like we're setting ourselves up for success. We're setting ourselves up to make daily progress. So I'm excited to be able to share that with you. So again, I'm just going to repeat it back because I want to make sure that you have these powerful and valuable insights, and even to be able to understand this for your team. And the way I like to be able to understand this for my team is I'll ask people, so which is your preference? Do you prefer to see it, hear it, or feel it? And oftentimes they're going to communicate, well, they'll pick one, or they'll say, well, I like all three, or I like two of those. And so what's powerful about that is that then rather than saying, okay, well, you need to hear it. So you need to be able to say that to yourself over and over and over again. Well, we're telling them to do that because maybe that's our tendency. That's how we set our goals and visualize our dreams. But it's not necessarily going to work for everyone else. So really being able to pinpoint, okay, which do you prefer? Do you prefer to see it, hear it, or feel it? And having them communicate with you what their preference is. And then ask them, so how are you going to go about keeping it in front of you? What would be, if it's somebody for visual, how are you going to be able to see it on a consistent basis? If it's someone that's auditory, how are you going to be able to hear yourself say it out loud? How are you going to be able to hear it on a regular basis? And then for feelers, I'm going to ask, how will this, what will express this feeling that you have for the vision that you are casting for your business? So those are a few insights to take that whole idea to the next level. The next thought around this is to establish the material things that you're working towards. So seeing it, hearing it, and feeling it, and then what are some of these, what material are you working towards? So this is your material why. These are the things and your material vision. These are the things that money can buy. This is the house, the car, the treasure chest filled with the money, the $20,000. This is paying off debt. This is the material, the car, the jewelry, the travel. This is something that you can actually see. is your material why. And this, when you're clear with your material why, you're taking steps in the right direction. The most powerful why that we've discovered over our years of researching and interacting and teaching and connecting with people in this profession is to have clarity around the emotional why. And the emotional why is beyond. It's at a deeper level, beyond the material why. So the material why, just imagine the material why is the surface answer, whereas the emotional why is an in-depth response to what you're really working towards. So I'll give you a quick example. If somebody says, well, I want to earn some extra money. Okay, so ding, 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 in my mind, when someone says, I want to earn extra money, that's their material why. So I'm going to take that a step further and ask them, so how would that extra money make a difference? What makes that extra money a priority right now? Who will be most positively affected by those extra resources? So I'm asking, I'm not asking back-to-back questions. I'm asking questions in a couple of different manners to give you some examples of how to change it up. I'm not going to ask those three questions one right after the other. So I just wanted to give you a few examples around that to have them thinking. So what does make it meaningful? Who would be impacted? These all are supporting people to take their material why to a deeper level quickly. And so one way to take it to a deeper level is to find out what makes that material significant. What makes it meaningful? What makes it important? How will they feel to accomplish that? So emotional whys are very much connected to feelings. And what we have found is that people are more likely to move based on emotion than they ever will based on logic. They're more likely to make decisions. They're more likely to continue to persevere because they're emotionally connected to their vision. They're emotionally connected to the why that they've set for themselves. So please take the time to really dive deeper into what emotional reasons that you could be embracing by pondering your material why at a deeper level, by pondering what makes it important, what makes it significant, how will it feel to accomplish something of that magnitude, who will benefit the most from that accomplishment. How will you see yourself? How will others see you? What kind of difference can you make because you were able to achieve your vision and realize it? So those are a few thoughts to take your why to a deeper level and to really get clarity around your emotional reasons for doing the business, your emotional reasons for casting that vision in the first place. Step 2 of this process that we're walking through when it comes to creating a vibrating vision, step 2 is to clarify the steps. So it's one thing to have the vision in front of you and have this idea of what you'd like to accomplish. The key to achieving it, though, is to clarify, okay, what is it going to take? What can I do to make progress towards that goal today? So clarifying some steps. And most people, they don't think in order. I mean, I don't necessarily think in sequence. What I can do is I can brainstorm, place a lot of different ideas that will support me to accomplish my vision, or ideas that I've noticed other people have implemented that have made a difference in their businesses. And I'm writing those ideas down, brainstorming, coming up with anything that I can imagine that will help me to achieve it. And then after that, I'm going to prioritize those steps. So I'm going to look at my brainstormed list, and I'm going to see, okay, of all these ideas that are on my list, which will have the greatest impact on my business? What can I implement right away? What will, I call it, I use a technique that I want to share with you actually right now. And one is how I prioritize is I think of them as pebbles, rocks, and boulders. So pebbles, yeah, they make a slight difference. It's almost that they're necessary. They're a necessary part of what I do on a daily basis, but they just don't have a lot of impact. Whereas a rock, oh my goodness, we're making progress here. It's something of magnitude. It is both necessary and it is having an impact on my progress towards my vision. The boulders, though, are the ones that have the biggest impact. These are the ones that, especially if you're running a sprint, your boulder activities are the ones that are going to get you there faster. So I like, when I'm clarifying my steps, is I like to look at, all right, what are my pebbles? They fill in the gaps. They're a part of the business. My rocks, and then my boulder activities. And I prioritize based on the boulders, and then work into the rocks, and then work into the pebbles. That's how I clarify my steps. And after I've brainstormed my ideas, because I want to implement and start with the things that are going to make the biggest difference. So again, take your time to brainstorm your ideas, and then prioritize those ideas. Basically, in this sequence is to clarify your steps. Like, what are you doing today? What are you doing tomorrow? What are you doing, the next day? And notice that I'm sharing with you daily that when people run their business as a hobby, they are compensated for their business as a hobby. When people run their business as a business, they are compensated as business owners. And what I've noticed is that business owners are often very consistent and persistent. They are going to do something on a daily basis that will move their businesses forward. This is what we call pace. And pace is you have a nice pace over a period of time. You tend to operate from a place of passion, versus if you have a sporadic pace, what I call the sprint stop, just as if you were running. That can be exhausting on the body to sprint, stop. And it also could be exhausting to the business. So I encourage you to find a pace that you can run, run, skip, walk, jump, however you want to roll, and find that pace so that you can operate from a place of passion versus operating from a place of adrenaline. Oh my gosh, I've got to finish all of this today because, tomorrow is the end of the month, versus having this pace of accomplishing various action steps throughout the month, so that the end of the month it becomes an excitement, versus the end of the month becomes, oh my gosh, I need to get, an entire month of production in a day. So those are a few thoughts for the pacing. And then check in with yourself, confirm your commitment. So confirming your commitment to your vision is to ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1, I am, if it happens, it happens. The 1 is, if it happens, it happens. It's like, I'm just going to hope for the best here and not necessarily take any action towards it. I'm just going to hope for the best. Confirming your commitment is, okay, we'll see what happens. To total commitment, which is a 10, I am committed, it is done. I am committed, it is done. So confirm your commitment to your vision. If you are not committed to your vision, then what adjustments could be made so that you can be committed? Whether it be, is the vision set in pencil or in pen or stone? Confirming commitment means that you are focused in and it's happening, it's done in your mind. And that right there, my friends, is one that I listen for. I listen for those words. If somebody says to me they're going to try, they hope it'll happen, we'll see, or maybe, that is a wavering response, and it is highly unlikely that that person will accomplish their vision. If a person says, I am committed, it is done, I will find a way, I have found that those are the people that are likely to see the vision all the way through to completion and beyond. They actually see it through, complete it, and then reset for their next vision very quickly. So confirming your commitment with yourself and asking yourself, how committed am I to following through? How committed am I to this vision? What makes it so important? How will that set me and my family up for success? Because, my friends, success prompts more success. So being committed and following through is a key. The fourth step is belief, and to have belief in yourself, to see this as possible, because how you see it is how it is. So if you see it as something that you feel worthy of, that you feel deserving of, that you feel belief around that this is possible, even if it's a glimpse of belief is far better than no belief. So looking and how I've supported people to grow in their belief and elevate that is to create evidence for themselves. So evidence is progress. So example, if you've set a vision to collect as many keys, let's say you have a desire to collect 10 or 15 keys for the box for next year, for the treasure chest. Evidence of progress in that area is to collect one. And then evidence of progress to build your belief is to collect another. So taking steps towards that ultimate vision plays an important role in elevating your belief and having evidence and proof to self that you're making, that you're moving in that direction. And the fifth step is to take action. See, we can talk all day. We can plan until we're blue in the face, but progress won't happen unless we actually do something about it, unless we actually take action. And so when I'm looking at the abundance of opportunities that I get to prioritize on a daily basis, the ideas that come to mind for me to implement in my business are very much action-based. They are they're project-focused or people-focused. So all of them relevant to taking some action, whether it be to pick up the phone and connect with a person that I haven't spoken with in some time, whether it be to schedule an upcoming call that will create business, whether it be to follow up with a customer or a previous customer to check in with them to see how they're doing, to communicate that we care, that it's not just a one-hit wonder or a one-sale wonder, but really building a relationship with our clients and with our hosts and with our contacts so that they know that they're not just another number in our database. They're a human being that we care about. So the best actions are the actions that get you in front of people, because we're a relationship business. So whether you're getting in front of people virtually or in person, both are very valuable. So being in front of people, connecting. So it's not just that I'm texting someone or I'm posting something on Facebook, but really I'm having a personalized interaction, whether it be I'm messaging someone, texting them, or picking up the phone to call them. Requesting a meeting in person, going out and connecting with new people, asking for referrals, and who do you know that could benefit from the service that I provide and the education that I offer? Who do you know that I could add value to their life? I mean, who could benefit from the services we provide with Athena's? So it's going a step beyond and thinking outside of the box, because being able to be referred by other people, it's almost like someone else's stamp of approval. So when you do meet that person, they've already been communicated with. They're already open to whatever you have to say, because their friend or their contact or someone that cares about them referred you to them. So that's action. Again, taking action, moving forward, doing something to make progress, being connected to people, or finding opportunities where you can get yourself and the business in front of people. Action is the key. So a vision without a plan and action is a dream. So I love this. This ties into the thought of finding your inner tiger. Find your inner tiger. And what I mean by that is find your inner tiger, your champion. Find that courage to do some things that you may have hesitated to do before in your business because you were afraid to do it or you were uncertain. And find your inner tiger. Find that willingness to be comfortable and become comfortable with what was uncomfortable. Because what I've even found in my own life is I was uncomfortable to do a conference call just like this, or the video that I filmed and sent to you a couple of weeks back for your conference. That, my friends, was something that I was a kitty cat around. I was not comfortable in the past doing that. It was a vulnerable place for me, and what it gave me was an opportunity to find my inner tiger, because my kitty cat was not going to take me where I wanted to go. My tiger champion was. And so I could remain the same and be a kitty cat, or I can allow myself to grow. And what I found is that once you grow into your inner tiger, it feels like your comfort zone enlarges. So what was uncomfortable becomes more comfortable. And the more you do something, the more repetitive you are, whether it be picking up the phone or sparking up a conversation with a person that's waiting in line in front of you, or interacting with a person that you've hesitated to call and picking up the phone and calling them. Find your inner tiger. And so I'm going to challenge you all between now and our next webinar, which our next webinar is going to be on January 31st. I'm going to challenge you between now and January 31st to find your inner tiger and to communicate what that was and what that looked like. So your inner tiger is the thing, doing the thing that in the past has held you back or frightened you. Going forward and making your reason for doing this business, your reason for Athena's, more important and the priority than any excuse. So I'm going to look forward to hearing who was able to find their inner tiger, what that was, and how that made a difference in your business and in your steps towards your goal. And I meant to share with you that the code word for this particular class is year. So again, YEAR is the code word for this particular webinar for our Vibrating Visionary. And so I encourage you to take the steps so that we know that you have attended the webinar and that you know the code word and that you're in it to win it. So let's see here. I wanted to take us to our final slide of this particular class, and that is your insights, your ahas, the things that stood out for you from what we covered today. And so if you would be willing to write those in, post those messages, communicate with other goddesses and Adona, that what you really gained from what I shared with you tonight with regards to Vibrating Visionary, we would really appreciate it. And also looking forward to having you all coming on the line for the setback game plan. And so we're going to talk about, some strategies that you can work with before a setback even happens. So what I call that is your bounce forward ability, And we're going to talk about that on the January 31st webinar. So again, if you have questions, comments, and insights that you feel good about sharing, we would love to hear it. Thank you so very much for the opportunity to speak into your life. I am excited to be a part of the Athena's journey over the next year and how I'm going to be able to work with you on a consistent basis. If you have questions specifically for me, you're welcome to email me. And so I'm going to give you my email address, and that is Grace, GRACE, at coachwithgrace.com. Again, Grace at coachwithgrace.com. And that's a way for you to be able to email me and communicate with me directly. Again, tonight's code word for this particular module is year, YEAR. And I look forward to connecting with you in a couple of weeks. Have an amazing day, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.
Well, thank you, Grace. I took so many notes. I have this pad full this second time around. I feel that this call prepares us perfectly for next week's workshop. And I'm going to challenge you all to show up to the workshop or to your team workshop parties, or just if you're by yourself streaming, show up prepared. Have your clear, defined visions ready to go, rather than a stack of magazines that you flip through while Steve's talking. Know in advance what you want. And team leaders, you can help me out right here. This could be an extremely beneficial exercise for your team prior to the Steve Gamlin workshop next Wednesday. Host a team call or a live meeting or a Facebook event where you all get clear on your vision. What material things, what emotional things each individual on your team wants to get out of 2018. Discuss the steps, the commitment required, the beliefs, and the action steps. And you could even do something fun with the team. Create a vibrating vision for the team as a whole. Because as you know, top 10 team leaders earn keys every month as long as they do their 2K. And their top team members, as long as they do 2K, do too. So inspire and allow your people to step into the vision board experience prepared and ready to create a meaningful visual for the coming year. Because I know that, like me, you want your team members to have the things they're dreaming of and to feel powerful and successful. And how about that inner tiger exercise that Grace mentioned? I totally love that idea. I will challenge all of you to share your kitten to inner tiger desires in the WOW page for sales and the WAR page for team building. And I'll pick a winner on Friday and give a prize at the Steve Gamlin BBW to one lucky winner in each thread. And I'll post more clear details on the thread. So I wanted to mention that the Warrior Program is very effective when you pair up with an accountability buddy. Not a big group, a one-on-one accountability buddy situation that allows you to concentrate on them and they concentrate on you. I encourage you to go over to the WOW page and find your AP for sales and your WAR page to find your AP for recruiting if those are the things you're shooting for through this program. With a clear understanding of each other's beliefs and dreams, you can move forward together in this business-building journey of 2018. So I'm not going to go over how to submit code words for every call and waste your precious time. The directions will be posted on the Wow and More pages, and we're all smart and savvy adults. We're all business owners. I know you can find the directions and follow them. And your final code word is EVER. E-V-E-R. That's your final code word. It is my goal to provide you with opportunities to learn and grow. I fully support you on your journey towards your goals that mean the most to you. I'm so excited to see you all at next week's Steve Gamlin Vision Board Workshop, whether you're in the live audience with your glue sticks or you're at your team parties and live streaming. Having a clear vision is one of the most important steps to seeing your dreams come true this year. Those who know what their dreams are and what they look like, and then look at them every day, are the ones that are most likely to achieve them. You can be a person that achieves their dreams here at Athena's. So thank you so much for listening and watching. Goddess blessings to all of you.